Mark B9983 says, I'm afraid that many will be deceived. The level of disinformation is extreme. Just look at how the daily revelations of corruption and incompetence emerging from the COVID inquiry receive almost zero public backlash. The coming election is existential for the UK. The key issues aren't just those the media occasionally mention, inflation, immigration, or public services. It's about the rule of law and the principle that nobody is above the law. Britain is sleepwalking into kleptocracy. 100%, 100%, and into a world in which rhetoric outshines reality. And that is a world of demagogy. That's not a world that is safe. And the idea that the Conservative Party is alone in this mission to bewitch us with words, when rhetoric is out of control like this, it becomes a form of magic. We're like in a Derham Brown show, where words are used to tease and to confuse rather than to inform. And I was just talking a few minutes ago about Robert Jenrick and about James Cleverly and the Home Office plans for Tier 2 or the skilled workers scheme, and the assumption which is made that by closing down some of that scheme that exists now, by raising the threshold, by closing down some of the businesses which are currently registered as needing to fill vacancies, the assumption is that British workers, settled workers, will be able to fill those gaps. That is a false assumption, because actually, even before applying, even before advertising for migrant workers, putting adverts in international sites, the employer has to demonstrate that they have employed the same vacancies in the national press that adverts have been run, and that there has been no response, or the response has been inadequate or inappropriate, that people without the correct qualifications have applied for jobs, and so on. And so that implies that if these vacancies are not filled, the vacancies will go unfilled, because you won't be able to get a migrant worker in to do the job, and nobody appropriate is going to be applying to fill these jobs from the UK. I suppose it means that we're going to be taking people. If we are desperate to fill those vacancies, we are then going to be taking people who are unskilled. Well, I look forward to that, when we have unskilled workers taking on major jobs simply because they're British. This is madness. Now, the problem here is Labour subscribes to the same view. Both Labour and the Conservative Party believe that by stopping migrant workers coming here, we're automatically going to make British workers do the jobs. Well, that might be the case when it comes to delivering post or cleaning the streets, when you can put somebody on a short training course. Great to do that. But I think for something which requires serious skills, those jobs are going to go vacant. And just like the farming industries, just like the horticultural industries, which were destroyed simply by ideology from this government and from the European Union. I mean, it started with George Eustace, by the way. So I suppose it is this government, 13 odd years ago. Simply because of ideology, we've destroyed remarkable businesses, like the bulb industry in Lincolnshire, and in industries that will rely on migrant work, on travelling short-term contracts, industries that rely on skilled labour, which simply isn't available in the UK. These industries will totter. They've tottered in the past, and they haven't recovered. More industries are going to totter. More vacancies are going to be left open, and I'm afraid it doesn't matter what the rhetoric says. The rhetoric has long ago failed to keep up pace with reality, and no amount of pontificating is going to change that.